entitled to a few votes for my favorite designs which could potentially be produced. As an added convenience, they have a virtual fitting room where a 3D avatar can be constructed in my likeness, and I can preview fashions before I go out to the store and buy them. Overall, I feel that's great value. I feel involved in the process, which is wonderful. I feel enabled to use my purchasing power to support a company who is ecologically, socially, and environmentally conscious. Of course, none of that would be possible without the right investors.
I have a desire to make a good return on my investment, and obtaining equity in a potentially successful company that will adhere to ecologically sound and socially responsible business practices is attractive to me. I have the opportunity to help manage, if I so desire, any investment as an equal partner. They seem to have done their homework and have an average cost of goods sold, wholesale prices, risk mitigation factors, and are currently establishing relationships with both retailers and sewing contractors nationwide. Customer validation went great.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Questions?
Team 3?
I've got a question for you. First of all, I think the name Democratic Fashion is awesome. I think that in and of itself actually, at some point, could have some value on its own. It's really cool. And I think that it's really cool the way you guys are looking at social media and the interaction and leveraging the masses to be able to do what you're doing. The thing that keeps hitting me, though, is how do you keep folks from looking at your fashions and changing materials, basically copying or pirating some of these designs? How do you maintain control over that entire system when a lot of folks are fashion conscious and are able to replicate designs like in hours?
Sure, copyright infringement definitely happens. There's really nothing we can do about that. As far as the submitted designs, we maintain the licensing rights while we're fabricating, distributing, and selling those products. We will give those rights back to the maker, to the designer if they choose after that cycle has gone through. When it comes to preventing other people from copying the designs that they see on our website, we have some money budgeted for legal retainers, so we can always send cease and desist letters. It would require a lot of monitoring, and I think that design kind of copying is something that is just kind of prevalent in the industry. We can definitely try and prevent it. Will we be able to? Time will tell.
So you had mentioned the domestic sustainability, you're crowdsourcing a lot of the design. What is your plan to maintain the engagement of your designers, which are effectively the front end of your funnel of material coming in a world where very few of them are actually coming out the other side?
Sure, there are currently a lot of barriers to entry for aspiring designers, whether you have one design or many designs. The incentives that we're offering are proceeds of the net sales go directly to the designer. We really want to encourage their entrepreneurship to help them recognize their potential and to continue to grow as designers. We would love to have designers that through the democratic fashion process become successful on their own and say they couldn't have done it without democratic fashion.
I haven't mentioned this, but my background is also fashion design. I have a clothing company, so I know a lot about this industry. And I'm curious, you say that you've got a short lead time, 2 to 6 weeks. Have you identified a manufacturer that can turn things that quickly for you?
We have identified several. There's one that we're currently communicating with located in LA. It ultimately would depend on the volume size of the order and the complexity of the garment itself. They've been telling us they can get stuff out the door in as little as 2 to 6 weeks for volumes of 2,000 plus units.
All right. That's all the time we have for questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
We don't have one. You're decidedly low tech. So, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Christine. This is my team. This is Alistair and Tim. And we are Idea Bank. We are about putting good business ideas to work. And we're going to do a little bit of tag teaming. We are low tech. We've tried lots of technology, and we find that actually the way we started is too much for us. I think some of you have known us as Idea Bank. These are our illustrations that we have. It's about lots of great ideas coming from lots of people being available to other people who want to make them happen.
Hi, our idea is pretty simple. We're a just-in-time business manual publisher. So we publish business manuals for SOHO businesses, people that are business operators. They're not looking to sell a business, they're looking to be self-employed, have a job. The business manual is a comprehensive manual. We publish a catalog of abstracts. When we have commitment for 50 manuals, we get together with a subject matter expert and the consultant, and we publish a complete business manual. It gives us a long tail with our key partners, so we can have in the manual you need to incorporate. We can say, here's the steps to incorporation, or contact one of our partners. They'll set you up with this package. I think that's pretty much what we're looking at. Small business is 70% of the US business economy. We're going after the low end of that.
And as far as the local angle, we're really interested in Albuquerque and having Albuquerque be our idea factory. We chose Albuquerque, one, because we love it and we believe that it's a very good place for great ideas. It's also a great place for small businesses. And we also have some validation from entrepreneur.com, who said in an article in November 2012 that Albuquerque is, quote unquote, a city teeming with entrepreneurial activity. And I think we see it here in this room, we see it here in downtown Albuquerque and all across the city. So we're really excited about that. These are our idea generators, and our idea builders are the SOHOs. We also offer add-on services. This is kind of our one-stop shopping. So beyond a comprehensive business manual, we will have really good trusted partners for legal services, tax services, coaching, marketing, all sorts of different kinds of services available to our clients.
The questions, there are some questions about who's going to give up their ideas. I think everybody in this room probably has more than one good idea, probably a number they can't act on. The people that are going to buy this idea are not any of the people in this room. They're going to be people that want to be stepped through the process of operating a income generating business.
So SOHO businesses are really small. We're looking at a potential market of people like retirees, people who are single families, single people, even people who are interested in having a teeny like micro business or even an avocation. So we think our market share is actually quite large, especially looking at the numbers that that Tim was telling you. We have 19 million self-employed people and it's growing quickly. And that's census information from 2003, 2004. I would imagine with the economy, the way that it is right now, it's actually much larger than that. So we're really excited about that. I think that's about it. As far as customer validation, we worked on that a lot. We did it more internally. We had a lot of people who came through the room saying, we love your idea. We tweaked it a lot. We pivoted all over the place, changed streams. We feel like we're kind of still changing streams, but we're really, really excited about the direction that we're going. So that's it for us. Thank you. Thank you, judges. Thank all the coaches who really helped us to do a better job. So, thanks.
Team 4?
3 minutes for questions.
Sure.
So I think that this is a great illustration about how really sometimes the simplest approach has value. So being an inventor and dealing with IP and dealing with inventors for many years, what I really like about this is that I think you're spot on. People do not know how to do things, from starting a shoe store to a cookie company to something really high tech. And I think that we live in a time where you can provide a digital reference for that for a very low cost, 99 cents to $4. And I know I used to do this with a company called Invention University and help inventors get ideas off the ground. And folks like Invention Submission Corporation make a killing by getting inventors to leverage their homes for help and consulting. So to come in the low end, I think, is really, really interesting. Why did you come up with the name Idea Bank when what I'm seeing you is more of as a publishing company and a how-to company?
Well, the initial idea was that there's a kind of a place where there would be a repository of ideas.
Okay.
And that those would be available to people in the community. This is very community driven. We also, we had lots of other ideas that actually came from mentors and people coming in out of the room. We decided to stay with Idea Bank for now. One, because we came in with it, we are identified with it, but we know that there's a good idea that there's a good chance that it will change. We did not purchase any URL. The idea exchange, I mean, all sorts of different things.
What's the advantage of just focusing on Albuquerque versus opening it up to other cities, other regions?
We actually would really like to prototype it here. I think that our market online would immediately, because it's virtual, be international. But we're really excited about one place being the Idea Factory. And there's a lot of people in Albuquerque who live in other places. I mean, who have lived in other places. So I think our reach is pretty big. Yeah, Jessica.
So, just to play devil's advocate, because there's a lot of resources out there, there's a lot of books published on how-tos, there's really specific, I mean, if you go even just to Barnes & Noble, there's a whole catalog of books that you can buy on launching very specific types of companies, like how to launch a bakery or how to launch an Etsy store. There's bunches of books about that. So how is this going to differ, and why would people have incentive to use what you all are doing? How are you going to distinguish yourselves versus people being able to just buy the book off of Amazon?
Right. I think you're much better at this
Sure.
than I am.
The things that we've found are pretty boring businesses. The top 20 were mostly commercial cleaning. We're looking for something more creative, things that are coming in from the other people, from these idea creators that have these brilliant concepts on fun businesses to run.
Right.
So that's what our niche is going to be.
Yeah, and I think we're very much focusing on the new economy and also the possibility of triple ROI.
What's the user acquisition play